Hi, dog. You're ruining a very special moment. Hey there, friends. A couple of days ago, we put up a video of one of our first gigs from back in Scone, all the way back in 2002, I believe that one was. Got a little bit nostalgic, thought we might have a little bit of a look back at the history of Chaosaint. So to do that, we have to go all the way back to 2001. What a year it was. Slayer released the great album, God Hates Us All. Machine Head released the album Supercharger, which did great things for their career. And the AU Falcon was dropping panties all around Australia. Also in 2001, a group of 5 high school students got together and formed Exhale. Obviously the early 2000s was a pretty interesting time for metal in general. Nu metal really had most bands by the balls at that stage. Bands were getting huge. Bands were getting played on commercial radio. You had bands like System of a Down, Limp Bizkit, Korn, all getting massive rotation, did huge things. Unfortunately, Exhale, having some nu metal tendencies, we didn't reach those dizzying heights. Just to demonstrate what a great time 2001 was, here's some shots from one of our earliest photo shoots. We did all the cliches: abandoned building, broken window, shot in the water, all that shit. This was actually prior to Baker joining, mind you. So Steve actually joined the band in around December 2001, I believe it was, and we played a gig in Sydney where we were asked to provide some music for a radio station after it. So with $25 worth of herbal produce in hand, we headed off to our mate's studio in his garage to record our first demo. Obviously recording technology wasn't at the point back then that it is today, and we recorded it as bare bones as possible, really. Basically a live recording into a Yamaha mini disc recorder. Very little mixing. To be honest, the result wasn't all that great. So let's have a little bit of a listen to one of the songs that came out of that session.
And bold-faced lies, just a chat we hypnotize. Behind the mask of feeling, see them. Better hold your tongue and stop screaming. Turn away, liar by liar. Told lies, don't go savior and slayer. Sleep on night, do not bring me to burn on your brain. Image of a stranger. Well, I don't need you anyway. Finding my own mind. Never after a day. Let it go.
Pretty mind-blowing, right? Apart from our meticulous attention to detail in regards to tuning and timing, the one thing that really stands out about that recording is the crushing guitar tone. I'm going to attempt to capture lightning in a bottle again, and let's see if we can recreate them crushing guitar tones today. So on to some of the gear that we were using back in the day. Here we have my trusty Marshall Valve State VS100 combo. Had this since about 1999, I think. And surprisingly, it's still going. So my main guitar back then was actually this BC Rich NJ Warlock. I think I got this back in 2001. It's had a little bit of a birthday since, had a paint job and some new hardware. And back then I would have had the stock pickups in it because I was a poor high school student. It's got some Seymour Duncans in it now, so it'll be a little bit different, but yeah, this is the exact guitar. So for our effects back then, we were using the Zoom 505. I actually picked this up for dirt cheap the other day, and yeah, I forgot how awesome this pedal really is. But the most crucial part of our tone, as it was for most 17-year-old guitar players back in the early 2000s, was this. The Bloody Boss Metal Zone. So let's hook this all up and see what sort of magic we can recreate. Alright, so I've got this all rigged up now into the Marshall. So it's not actually that bad. I'd probably use that today, but we were kids, and as kids, it's all about more metal. So let's throw the Metal Zone on. My god, that sounds just as fucking awful as I remember. Alright, so that was with all the controls at noon, but we all know that's not how we would have done it as 17-year-olds. So let's max out the gain, throw some highs, scrape out the mids, because nobody likes mids. Yeah, okay. That's just as awful as I remembered. Let's crank some effects in there. Alright, so for the intro to Scared, if I remember correctly, would have used a bloody flanger. Something along the lines of this. And had the Tube Screamer on for a little bit of distortion. Yeah, that's pretty well identical to the tone there. For one of our other songs, 3 Ring Circus, for the intro to that, I believe it was a pitch shifter. And take a wild guess, I used to just like maxing out everything. Alright, so it successfully worked out that the Metal Zone sounds like balls. But certain things have come to light in the last few years. Got to credit Ola England's video for this one. Apparently the Metal Zone is actually designed as a preamp pedal, and as such shouldn't go at the front of your amp. It should actually go into an effects loop or a power amp. So I'm going to give that a try now. I'm going to put the Metal Zone in through my Matrix power amp, run it into the same cab, and see what we come up with. Doesn't sound half bad. Let's dive back in to another one of the old songs and see what it sounds like with a Metal Zone used the way it's meant to be used. So there you have it, some old songs and some old tones. The Metal Zone pedal still isn't something that I'd really go for, but it does sound a lot better in the power amp. So anyway, that's it. Hope you've enjoyed this video. See you next time.